Welcome back, everyone. It's Sam again with A Gentleman's Life. And today I thought I'd do another watch review. And this one is going to be on a dive watch. Specifically, this is the Squale 50 Atmos. And the version I got, I'll give you a quick glance here, is a bead-blasted case with a matte dial. So I'll get into that in a second. But first, I will switch it to first-person view, and we'll look at some statistics, and then I can show you how it's boxed up, packaged, how you get it, and give you my thoughts on it. Alright, so here we are, everybody. This is the technical information from Squale's website. And you can see here that the 50 Atmos is good for down to 500 meters. It does use that ETA 2824. Doing a little bit of research, I found that the Squale 50 Atmos actually has the top grade 2824, and that's actually the same one that is in my, or the same that's in the Tudor Pelagus, although Tudor does make changes themselves as well and refinish it and that sort of thing. This is a 42mm watch. However, I would say it wears smaller than 42 millimeters because of the way it's shaped. And the crystal is sapphire, and all of the lume is super luminova. So going on from there, here you can kind of see how it gets packaged. So we have here the Squale tag. Now the watch comes in this really kind of neat old plasticky little divers like bag. And from what I can tell and what I've been able to get information-wise, these were actually just left over from Squale watches that were sold back in the 60s and 70s, and they had a bunch of these left over, and they still sell them today and package them in the same plastic they already used, which I thought was really interesting. Now, I bought my watch from a retailer called Noman Watches. So you can see here, Noman Watches, which is in Singapore, but actually a really great store to deal with, a really great retailer. And they actually add on their own 180 days on top of the 2-year warranty provided by Squale. So I thought that was really neat. And then here you just have the standard, booklet with all the information. So pretty standard there. And now I'm actually going to close that up, and we can get into the watch itself. Pretty nice box, actually different shape than a lot of them. Comes within the little sleeve. If anyone's interested today, the music, we are listening to Anna Popovic. Bit of a blues rock type of artist. And also, we are drinking some Shinerbach. Excellent beer down from the Austin, Texas area. Anyways, back to the important stuff. We want to see the watch. That's the important stuff. Now, this is the Squale 50 Atmos. As mentioned, it comes on this light tan leather strap. It's pretty good quality leather, from what I can tell, for the 20mm lugs. You can see right here, 20. However, for me, I am skinny, and this doesn't cover it. So I took this strap off, and I replaced it both with a navy NATO strap at times, and this darker brown colored leather strap from Crown and Buckle. They do some really nice straps, and that one actually fit. So that's what I did. But the stock strap is good enough quality. For me, it didn't fit. Onto the watch itself. See if I can get this to focus here for you. There we are. Hold it steady. So the Squale 50 Atmos is actually a case design they've been using for decades now. And it does have the fully graduated bezel with second markers all the way around. Super Luminova hour markers, circles except for the 6 and 9 o'clock and the 12 o'clock with a date window at the 3 o'clock, which is really well done. And then it has the Van Buren symbol, the first owners of the company, above the Squale on the top half of the dial. On the bottom half of the dial you see the 50 atmos, and you see the Squale Shark and Professional, and they have that on their professional lines, and Swiss made at the bottom. And the bezel is actually a really nice, that light blue color of aluminum, and looks really good, and it's got a really satisfying click. Let's see if I can get that for you. So really nice. One thing I will say though, however, is you can see there is a little bit of rotational play. So that was a little bit disappointing for me, but it clicks in really solidly. So that's really nice. The finishing is really good. It has that blasted look and really nice finishing on the bezel there. You can see that really nice. The case design actually is really well finished in it as well. I was very impressed by that. You can see the nice little angular changes, very well done in texture with the bead blasting. You can see on the lugs some really excellent beveling on the lugs there. And you can see the Van Buren signed crown. So again, that Van Buren. Come on, focus. There you go, the Van Buren signed crown. Very well done. Now on this blasted version, which was a limited run, they also did a matte dial. So on the polished version has a sunburst blue dial, and if you can see in the light there, this is a very nice matte finish to the dial. Really, really looks great and changes a lot depending on the light. Really nice. Like they did back in the 60s, they have the white hour hand with an orange minute hand, and then the stick with a little rectangle in it for the seconds. Very well done. One thing I will say is the loom pip has been shielded to kind of protect it from falling out, I think. But it really does affect the loom on the loom pip, and it doesn't really match the rest of the dial, and I find that a little bit disappointing as well. And then on the non-crown side, you can see they have engraved Squale to the side of the case. Very well done. This case, like I said, is 42mm watch, but because of the case shape and how narrow it is around the dial, it actually fits much smaller than a 42mm watch, which I'll show you in a minute with wrist view. Now for the case back, that is polished. You can see here it does say stainless steel, sapphire crystal, Swiss made, automatic, 50 atmos professional, Squale, and then it has the number at the bottom. This is number 20675. That's a screw-down crown. Or screw-down case back, I'm sorry. The crown is screwed down as well, but that's hidden away here under the 4 o'clock. But overall, I find this to be a very pleasing watch to wear. And it fits very well, which I'll show you now with a wrist view. Give me just a moment. As I mentioned, this strap does not fit me correctly, but I'll get it on as tight as it will go, and we'll have a look. Kind of hold it in place for you the best I can. So here is a wrist view of how it fits. Now I have a 6.5 to 6.7 inch wrist, depending on how much it's grown or shrunk during the day. But you can see it fits very nicely to the wrist. Hugs the wrist really nice. Really excellent looking watch. And I forgot to mention that they do have a signed buckle as well on the buckle. It's signed there with Squale and the Van Buren symbol. So, my final thoughts on this watch, I really do like it a lot. I think it's great value for money with the top grade ETA 2824 movement. I think it's extremely well executed. There are minor gripes, the play in the bezel being the major one, the strap not really being made for skinny people is another. I was able to overcome both of those really. But for me, the problem really is my collection, and that I don't want to have too many divers, and I already have a blue diver and a tool, matte brushed type of diver. So really the problem is that I have this, matte brushed Tudor, which is in black, so that's not a problem. But then I have a dressier diver that is in blue, in my Omega Seamaster. Obviously, as you can tell, the blues are very different, but I didn't feel like it. There were other watches I want to get, and something has to give, and it was either this or my vintage Seiko diver, which I just am not willing to give up. I think the case shape on the vintage Seiko is just too distinct and unique to really, move on at this point, and I still want that in my collection. So, as much as I love this Squale, and I would recommend it to anyone who's looking for an excellent, tool dive watch, it's a little bit different, a little bit under the beaten path, not a company everyone knows, but still very well, the machining, the quality is very good. I would highly recommend the Squale. You could pick up a 50 Atmos like this for under $1,000, usually right around the $800 range. Excellent quality for money, and I would highly recommend it. So if you have any questions about the watch or any thoughts of your own, please leave them in the comments below. And if you have any other watches I have you'd like to see a review of, let me know. And I'll have a couple more reviews coming up in the near future, and I'll give you more thoughts on more watches. So thanks for watching, and until next time.